All right, if you're an optometrist, I'm pretty sure you know this feeling. That marketing roller coaster, right? You have these amazing, busy months, and then crickets. It leaves you feeling stressed out, a little uncertain. Well, today, we're going to talk about a strategy to get off that ride for good. We're going to look at how to build what's called a fully focused practice, one that's calm, confident, and honestly, totally ready for this new AI era.
Just take a second and imagine that. This right here, this is the entire goal. It's not just about being busy, you know? It's about building a practice that's filled with the exact kind of patients you are most passionate about helping. That's the feeling we're after, that sense of calm, of control. So what does that even mean, a fully focused practice? Well, think of it this way. It's a practice that operates with predictability. You're not just guessing where your next patient is coming from. It's seen as the authority in your area. And, this is the most important part, it's all built around your core mission, delivering amazing clinical excellence. Okay, so this strategy delivers three really tangible outcomes. First, you get a predictable pipeline of your ideal patients. Second, you become the undisputed local authority. And third, and this is a big one, you gain the clinical freedom to focus on what actually matters. So yeah, let's break each one down. First up, predictable patients. Honestly, this is where you're going to feel the most immediate shift. We're talking about moving from that constant anxiety about filling your schedule to a real sense of confidence that the right people are going to find you. So the old way of doing things, it's all about quantity, right? Chasing after those generic searches like optometrist near me. And you know who's typing that in? It's often people just looking for the closest or maybe the cheapest option. It's a total race to the bottom, and it leads to really unpredictable revenue. But compare that to the modern, focused approach. This attracts patients making really high-value searches. I mean, someone searching for scleral lens fitting in Pretoria, they are not just shopping around. No way. They have a specific, complex need, and they are actively looking for a specialist. And just think about what these kinds of searches reveal. Ortho-K for my child, advanced macular degeneration screening. These are not casual questions. These are people who have already done their homework. They're looking for real expertise. They are basically pre-qualified before they even pick up the phone.
And here's the business impact, the bottom line. When you attract patients with these kinds of complex needs, it dramatically increases their average lifetime value. This is what creates a much more stable and way more profitable practice for the long haul.
All right, let's move on to outcome number 2, becoming the undisputed authority. And look, this isn't just about being well-known. It's about being seen as the definitive, go-to expert in your community for those specific, high-value eye care needs. So how does this even work? Well, it's because modern search AI, Google's AI, is specifically designed to reward genuine expertise. When it sees over and over again that you are providing the most helpful, the most in-depth answers to complex patient questions, it starts to see your practice as the most trustworthy source. And that creates this powerful digital flywheel of trust that, honestly, old-school marketing tactics just can't touch.
And this digital authority, it doesn't just live online. Oh no, it translates directly into your real-world reputation. You'll start to see more word-of-mouth referrals. You'll get more professional referrals from GPs and other specialists. You might even get calls from the local news looking for an expert opinion. It's a huge deal.
Ultimately, it all boils down to this. When someone is truly serious about their eye health, your practice stops being just one of the options on a list, and it becomes the only logical choice. And that brings us to our final and, maybe the most important outcome, clinical freedom. Because once that patient pipeline is predictable, and once your authority is locked in, you get back your two most valuable resources, your time and your mental energy. I want you to think of this strategy like you're building an always-on marketing asset. It's a system that's out there working for you 24/7, attracting the right patients so you don't have to constantly worry about it. It frees you from that constant low-level stress that just drains your focus day in and day out. So what do you do with all that freed-up energy? You reinvest it where it really matters. You can double down on your clinical excellence. You can finally invest in that new piece of advanced tech you've been eyeing. You can spend more time training and developing your amazing staff. You get to focus on your professional development. You get to be a clinician, first and foremost. And what happens is, this creates this incredibly powerful, virtuous cycle. The system, let's call it Authority Engine Optimization, or AEO, it attracts your ideal patients. That frees up your time and energy.
You then reinvest that into becoming an even better clinician. And that enhanced expertise, it fuels your digital authority even more, which attracts, you guessed it, even more ideal patients. It just keeps feeding itself.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking right now. This all sounds great, but how is this really different from what I'm already doing? Or maybe, can my small practice actually compete like this? Those are great questions, so let's tackle a few of them head on.
So one of the biggest questions is, isn't this just good SEO? And the answer is no, not really. Look, good SEO might get you to rank highly on Google, sure, but you can still end up with totally unpredictable traffic and a ton of low-quality inquiries. A fully focused strategy, on the other hand, builds deep authority. The result is a consistent, steady flow of high-quality, pre-qualified patients. And for all the smaller practices out there wondering if you can compete, absolutely. This AEO strategy actually levels the playing field. Why? Because authority is built on expertise and trust, not on the size of your marketing budget. And just to be super clear, this whole approach is about attracting new ideal patients. It's not going to harm your existing patient base at all. In fact, it's only going to enhance your reputation with them.
So all of this really leaves us with one critical question to think about. In an era where AI is fundamentally changing how patients find real experts, is your practice built for the past, or is it truly focused on the future? It's something to really consider.